Yo, yo, what up, people? It's your boy, Oh No Solo, and I'd like to introduce y'all to Alert and Spoil. I got a recap and reaction for you guys this week on Power 4 Force, the fourth installment of the great 50 Cent and Stars Power series. As we know thus far, the series got Tommy from Power, Ghost partner in crime, in a new city, Chicago to be exact, making a whole lot of enemies and few friends on his way to take over the city's underworld. Season 2, Episode 1 opens up with Tommy having a conversation with a ghost, y'all. That's right, Liliana's back, and she wants Tommy to get up off his ass and get some revenge on whomever killed her. The Fed's been working overtime to stop a lot of the crimes in their city, and in doing so, have come across a ton of serious information that can stop these bad guys in their tracks. They got clear pictures of Tommy. They know exactly what he looks like, but just like Ghost, they can't quite yet put a finger on who exactly he is and what exactly is his role in all of the mayhem. The Feds, however, have all the information they need on the Flynn family. They know that the family is feuding, a lack of trust amongst the kids for their father, and if you ask me, they're right not to trust they pops because homie is shady. And on the other side of town, the brothers Diamond and Jay Nard have come to a not so amicable split. And so, even amongst their crews, there is turmoil and trouble brewing on the horizon. In Diamond's crew, some of the members don't seem so loyal anymore now that this white boy Tommy is giving orders. And if Jay Nard's crew only knew that he had no real plan to prosper after the split, they may not have sided with him. But Diamond got bigger problems than some disloyal workers. He got a new parole officer, and this guy means serious business. He's cracking down on his restrictions for Diamond and planning to make it real tough for him to keep his boss status amongst the crew. I mean, pop-ups. He can't hang with felons. Y'all know how it is. A conversation between the Flynns revealed the truth. They are running scared, y'all. Lily Flynn, the daughter, is worried that Tommy will figure out that she was in fact the trigger man behind Liliana's death, and they know Tommy ain't playing. So the father uses this instance to bring some sort of unity amongst him and his kids, because right now, they ain't really feeling him. And so for now, the kids pretend to agree with some version of truths, even though they do not trust him going forward. Tommy out here playing Santa Claus in some sort of brotherly love for his brother, JP, as he surprises him with his very own bar to start a family business. If y'all remember, JP was working in the bar last season when Tommy first rolled into town. He even suggests to Darnell, JP's son, and Tommy's nephew can come and work at the bar once he's recovered from his gunshot injuries. Unfortunately for Tommy, while he was in the middle of doing this good deed, the feds were able to swoop in and recover his fingerprints right off of his American muscle car parked right outside. While Darnell is recovering, he's trying to make himself useful for the other family business as he shows Tommy how the kids are using the technology of social media to move product, and Tommy's all into the idea. So as long as Darnell is able to set that up from the safety and comfort of the crib. Speaking of products, Lily and Vic Flynn have every intention on hitting the streets even harder with that super designer drug Dahlia. Just one problem. The chef/scientist they got to cook it up regrettably expressed her desires to retire from the business. Rightfully so, because she is not a drug dealer, not at the club, which is probably why she was naive to think that they would let her go. This request was met swiftly with threats from the boss lady Lily to end that nonsense talk immediately. Back on the south side, a desperate Jay Nard approaches Chewy, a disgruntled employee of Diamond, and bribes him to switch sides with the promises to undercut the price of product by $500. Which this disloyal Mark-ass Trick agrees to do so. It's just one problem. Jay Nard is having a little bit of a logistics problem in his business. The money ain't adding up. The product ain't producing. And he might not be around next week. We know this as we see Jay Nard show up to the plug light on his feet with only a partial payment. Miguel, the plug, told Jay Nard, "Bring my money by Friday or else." And I don't think Jay Nard wants to see what that means. Side note, did y'all see that man's ear? Shit is gross. Anyways, so Tommy gets Diamond to take him to meet the same plug in order to reconstruct the agreement. He basically wants more size to have a bigger footing in the city. Obviously, the plug doesn't like strangers, and as he sends Tommy into another area of the stash spot so he can talk to Diamond, Tommy meets what seems to be a newly introduced love interest in the form of Maria, a nurse at the local hospital and El Jefe's baby sister. Bad news if you ask my opinion. Back at the family's house, Tommy's nephew, Darnell, is experiencing some infections from his wounds. And after waiting over 2 hours laying on the floor of a crowded hospital, Tommy comes in and causes a scene, demanding aid from the hospital personnel. And you guessed it, Maria is there to lend a hand. Side note, I found it interestingly funny that they had been waiting 2 whole hours laid out on the floor of a hospital being ignored, and here comes this white man complaining for 2 minutes. And you know what? Let me stop. So ultimately, Tommy informs Diamond of a potential plot to remove the middleman and go right to the source. He wants to be the direct plug in the city, and to do so, he'd have to take out the current plug, Miguel, as well as the Serbs, who are known for running things in a violent manner. Tommy don't care too much about them, as he takes back some turf unlawfully given to them by Jay Nard. That's only going to cause them problems in the end. But most likely, Jay Nard is done. At least in this episode, he was able to get some cheeks, y'all. But it may be his last. Unfortunately for the Flynn siblings, the recipe for Dahlia was leaked to the internet, turning the tide from them being the only ones to have it to virtually irrelevant in the drug business. So what does she do? Assume it was the chef/scientist who leaked it. And she goes immediately putting a bullet right between her eyebrows. I'm not sure who did it, but I don't believe it was her. And finally, we find out that the Flynn's money ain't what it once was. Big Flynn's going broke fast, and he may have to ask for help from some people who will view this reality of his as a sign of weakness. I think he got other plans, however. Finally, the fingerprints the feds recovered came back to reveal everything, y'all. They got him. Tommy is a major player, and they believe if they sit on him long enough, he may be the key to grab everyone else. And honestly, they may be right. The best scene for me was the very last one, as Tommy gets in his ghost bag and approaches Chewy, the disloyal former employee of he and Diamond, with only one intention in mind, to say goodbye. With little conversation, Tommy ends the man and stands over his lifeless body as a very fitting rap song from Chicago artist G Herbo plays on cue. Interesting first episode to season 2, if I do say so myself. It's too early for me to tell y'all how this season will go exactly. But so much information already being disclosed, I don't see Tommy making it to the third season here in Chicago. What do y'all think? Thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. Tune in next time as I give another recap and reaction to the next episode. Remember to like and subscribe for more content from your boy, Oh No Solo. Until the next one, peace.